Command 08, this is Profane. We're seeing activity converging to your north and south.
This is Frogman 6 Romeo. We need evac at our last known position.
Warfare is a film that is directed by Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland. Ray Mendoza is a former Navy SEAL, and this is a film that is depicted from his memories. This is an account of the events that unfolded in 2006 in Iraq during a surveillance mission that he and his team were on. I find it interesting how Alex Garland and Ray Mendoza collaborated. From Alex Garland's account, he was working on his movie Civil War, which is what I suspected because this movie feels similar to that movie.
I was really interested in just watching, as it were, a group of veterans directed by a veteran, what that looks like. And it immediately made me think, what if you extrapolated that out to an entire film? What if it lasted an hour and a half? And what if it wasn't fiction, but it was attempting to forensically recreate something real? So halfway through post on Civil War and the editing, I called Ray and asked him if he wanted to work together. Does he have a story he wants to tell? Explained the concept and the brief, and it turned out Ray had a story that he had been planning to tell for many years.
This was like an event that when discussed or when talked about, I was shy away from. The other component or the other kind of factor is there was a lot of other people that were there. Elliot. So yeah, just wanted to get their blessing on it. So I have the one opportunity to tell it right, to do it right, and to honor the people that were there.
This 3-week boot camp really helped inform this Navy SEAL culture leading up to filming.
This film is a depiction of the events that unfolded in 2006 during a surveillance mission in Iraq with Ray Mendoza and his team. So there's no story here. That's the interesting thing. There's no plot to follow. It's just a series of events that are taking place, watching these men just trying to do their job and survive.
It's about a group of young SEALs in Iraq conducting an Overwatch mission. In doing so, they came upon contact and then having to come together and figure out a plan and to get to safety.
Even though it feels like there is no story here, we do get a sense of who these characters are. We get a sense of their brotherhood and their friendship amongst each other. We know that they are willing to sacrifice their lives for each other. They're willing to put their lives on the line to save each other from dangerous situations. And so ultimately, I feel when you have a movie with characters that you care about, that's more important to me than the story being told, because when these characters get caught in these dangerous situations and they have to fight for their lives and they have to work together to save each other's lives, that's what hooks me in. And then how it's depicted in real time, it just makes it feel more immersive.
The actors had to learn to move and shoot like SEALs, but that was the easy part.
Say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Look left, look right. Mendoza put the cast through a 3-week boot camp, including the standard introduction to military service.
20 guys in one hotel in the middle of nowhere. You know, we ate together, we slept together, worked out every single day.
After boot camp, the film was shot in just 25 days.
The actors then did not leave the set between setups or between takes. They stayed there all day, every day. And everybody was locked into this story, replicating this scene with the people who really lived through that scene standing a few feet away.
The interesting thing to me is how this movie is not your standard typical action film. Like, there's action in it, there's firefights, there are explosions, but you can say it's told from a realistic point of view. Ray Mendoza wanted this to be as authentic as possible, and I think Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland captured that essence. They made me as an audience member feel like I was in a real firefight. There are no outlandish, grandiose, larger-than-life, fancy Hollywood explosions here. It's all told from a realistic point of view. It's depicted from a realistic lens, and so you feel like you're actually there with these characters, these people who went through these real-life situations.
The movie is dedicated to Elliot Miller, gravely wounded that day.
I think that Ray and Alex did a remarkably good job with recreating the story. But as you very well know, I don't remember anything, so they could have made me out to be a real loser. Ha ha.
In addition to losing a leg, he suffered a traumatic brain injury, which wiped out his memory and his power of speech.
For some people, not having that larger-than-life violence, how this film depicts this situation may be boring to some, but to me it was very interesting. It really locks you in to the situation because you care about these characters, and then when they get caught in these situations, you're wondering how are they going to get out of these situations. So it's very immersive and it's very engaging. When I think about it, life is beautiful, but it's also sad at the same time, because when I think about Elliot Miller and watching the character and what he went through in this film, he is lucky to be alive and have a group of brothers that love him and care about him.
This movie isn't just another war movie, but rather it's a kind of love story.
Well said.
Love story. What does he mean?
I think it's the love we have for each other. When you spend that much time with somebody where you go out together, you work out together, you train together, you do everything together, there's this bond, this understanding of putting the team and everyone else before yourself.